Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
If you've been hurt in a road accident that wasn't your fault, you should really talk to G4 Claims first. Unlike road accident solicitors, we don't charge you for our services, which could see you better off. To keep 100% of your compensation, have a chat with Nicole and the team. You'll be glad you did. Search online for G4 Claims.
Keep 100% of your claim. G4 Claims.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Sellik the Thunder podcast. It's episode 145. It's season 6. We're back. We're back with a bang. Kieran, Dylan, hello.
It's certainly been a while. I mean, I was saying that before we started recording. It's weird being back in these surroundings after 2 months off it.
It's bloody roasting as well.
Well, we certainly get yourself a summer break, didn't we?
We did. How did you enjoy it? How was your summer, first of all?
I mean, we started off going to Santa Ponsa. That was only a few weeks after we
stopped, aye?
Mm-hmm. Aye, but I mean, fucking hell, even plenty of time's passed since that. I've not really done much in July. It was my birthday last weekend, 25 now.
Join the club. Well done.
Unks, man.
Dylan's not here yet.
24.
He's nearly there. It started sounding like you were summing up Celtic's summer when you said, no done much in July.
Mate, you can draw a lot of parallels between Celtic and myself.
Welcome back for season 6. The only co-host today who's been here since the get-go. Well done.
Mm-hmm. I'm not away in Turkey like Calum.
Yes, Calum is in Turkey. In case you wonder where Calum is for the big premiere of season 6, he will be here this season. Don't worry, he's just he's enjoying a pint right now while we're stuck in this.
And don't say it when he comes back with perfect teeth,
new hairline and all the rest of it. Dylan, welcome to your first full season with the gang.
First full season,
Aye.
Got a good bit behind me there, so now I'm ready to go for the full lot.
You've got pre-season behind you, minus the legs.
Hopefully Engels will be established this season.
How was your summer?
No, it was good. Wee bit more boring compared to you. I didn't go on a holiday and saving up for WrestleMania, but Ryan's now left me.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding on.
The big update, I'm not going to WrestleMania, but Dylan, you still are.
But aye, so try to save up for that, which is an absolute fortune. But nah, it's been alright. A couple of nights out and that, a couple of festivals and that, but good to be back and talking about Celtic. It feels like it's just been a long time. Good to get back to the competitive side and see the boys.
It's always weird. It feels like it drags in and it flies in at the same time. I don't really know how to describe it. It's the same every year when we sit down to do the first episode back, but
I know it's because, like, as Dylan said, it's never back into the thick of the competitive stuff. I mean, the friendlies and that, it just doesn't feel anywhere near the same. But it is good to be back. But we've certainly got a lot to talk about and digest for what's happened over the summer.
Yes, we do, and this season will be more of the same. We're a podcast that prides ourselves on consistency. And we'll try and be as consistent as we possibly can. We're a podcast that prides itself on its fun times, its humour, it's letting our hair down, you know. So the big changes I now have a run through. We're trying to go a wee bit more professional. I'm trying to keep timings of things so we don't go over the top, and so far we're going over the top, so we better get moving on with the show.
Did you go to the library to print them? Like?
Do you know what, I'm with that HP print thing, and actually see, after you've used 10 sheets a month, it starts charging you.
It's in colour as well.
To use your own fucking printer. Robbing bastards, honestly. Right, so the summer, we're well and truly into it now, because the season kick-starts this weekend. But before we preview the match against St Mirren, which will be in the second half of the show, I thought we'd better kick off with the summer catch-up, talking about transfers, talking about where we are as a club right now, because it's a bit of a hard one, isn't it? Online social media has been a bit of a cesspit, and we'll come to that. But our summer business so far, let's quickly run through on all the signings, and I want to hear your opinions of them all. Just in their full, it is Benjamin Nygren, Kieran Tierney, Yamada, Inamura, Osmond, and Duhan, and with Jamai Simpson Pusey to join. So let's go through them one by one and get a quick opinion very quickly. Benjamin Nygren, Dylan, he's looked sharp in pre-season. What you make of the signing of him?
Aye, if anything, I think other than Tierney, I think he's the one. Like, well, I'm the most excited about. I think when you see him in pre-season, he's looking sharp compared to the rest of them. He's looking a bit more creative. I think he's going to be a key player this season, or if he's at the top of his game. And I think for Europe as well, will be a big part to play, especially in that midfield, because I feel that's probably the most stacked position now. But the way he can play sometimes on the wing as well, he's got a bit of everything. So I think for the money we spent as well, I think he'll be a good addition.
Kieran, it's a bit of a weird one with Nygren, because you could say he's already in Brendan Rodgers' favoured midfield three. I don't want to spoil our match predictions later and our starting 11 predictions, but I think a lot of people would maybe say Nygren, Hatate, McGregor could be the starting midfield three for the first game of the season. That's the quality he's already shown him in the early stages.
I mean, as we said there, I don't think I'd be surprised if it was anything other than that come Sunday, because throughout pre-season, as you have said, he has showed that creative spark, and that's something that maybe I feel like we spoke about at times, particularly in the run-in last season. You maybe sat there and thought, in these games, the midfield just looks a bit too static. I mean, you're relying on a moment of magic for somebody like Hatate, but now you're bringing in players that have also got that in their locker, and hopefully going forward they can play a pivotal part, and work out to be yet another bargain and masterstroke signing. But I mean, it's early days. I don't want to put the weight of the world on his shoulders, but for what we've seen so far, I'm excited about it.
I was already quoted on the Celtic Exchange saying that he could be the bargain of the decade for Celtic. I mean, that's the upscale you're looking at for £1.5 million. It's similar to Matt O'Reilly, isn't it, Dylan? You know, and if he's coming in to be that sort of attacking midfielder, you're hoping that one day when we do move him on, that is for big money. But here and now, it's just getting that quality into the side.
I think especially with the way the season's starting now, I think a lot of people's a bit hesitant of how it's going to go, and I think a player like him's giving everybody a bit more hope. And I think you're comparing them to him, Ryan, like O'Reilly and that, I think they started a wee bit slow compared to others, but Nygren, I know he's only played a couple of friendlies, and we'll see the best of him this weekend hopefully in the league, but he's looking really sharp, and I think he's just that good addition to have. And as you said, I think he probably could go right into the starting 11, which you don't really see with new signings like that, but just to throw him right in and get him going with the players and that'll be good.
Yeah, Kieran Tierney, he's back, and we'll see him at Celtic Park for the second time this weekend. He played against Newcastle, of course, but for season ticket holders, it'll be his first appearance back. I mean, I think it's been downplayed because we've known for so long, Kieran, how big this actually is. Kieran Tierney returning is huge, and the quality he puts into the side is beyond words. Yeah, just speak about your thoughts about seeing him back at the side.
I think it's nail on the head stuff Bear saying about the shine's certainly been taken off it because of how prolonged it was. I mean, we've known about this since January, and it was the will back in January it was always going to come the now, and then even the full time at Arsenal in the last few months. But we've spoke about it plenty of times throughout the summer. It's a Kieran Tierney in the prime of his career that's came back to join Celtic, somebody that should have cost quite a bit of money. We were very fortunate to get one a free, and I think that's also raised a couple of debates about how well the transfer window's been done by Celtic, because you can't really include the signing of him in it, because in everybody's minds he was already joining. It felt like a foregone conclusion, but I think that in itself is taking away for the shine that we have got Kieran Tierney back in his prime years, and it's got to be massive this season.
Tierney coming back, Dylan, now paints a very promising picture for Celtic's back four, but at the same time, is this now kind of now or never to show if we're good enough? Because the back four could potentially consist of Alistair Johnson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Kieran Tierney, and let's just say Simpson Pusey, let's say Scales, let's say Trusty. We are close to a very, very, very strong back four if all things go well with the new signing. I feel like it has to work for Celtic now. This is the kind of stuff we've been calling out for, and we'll see how much quality Tierney brings in Europe.
Aye, exactly. I think we've spoke earlier years is that bit in Europe when you want to progress to the next stage and stuff, that you've not really had a Kieran Tierney replacement. Now we've brought Kieran Tierney back, and as Kieran touched on, probably an even better Kieran Tierney than the Tierney we fell in love with in the first couple of seasons he was here. Obviously he's a lot older now, but he's not old enough to be at the end of his career. He's progressed, he's played in the Premier League, one of the best leagues in the world, up against some tough players and stuff, so he's get smarter, he's get older as well, so I think he's going to be a Kieran Tierney that's more levelled up as well. And I think when you put him next to Cameron Carter-Vickers, if he's at his best and avoids injuries, and then obviously Alistair Johnston, a solid player, and then Pusey's coming in, so hopefully he can get to that level as well. It's going to be a Celtic defence, if all at the top of their game, could be our best yet, hopefully.
Hopefully they don't concede 7 goals in Europe. That's all I'm
It's objectively pretty funny, but that it's taken us 6 years to replace Kieran Tierney, and we have replaced Kieran Tierney with Kieran Tierney.
I mean, was there any other way Celtic would do it other than that, you know? That's
Celtic way,
we've tried with Bernabei, but we've all seen what he's been up to.
No, even just the list of left backs since Tierney's departed, it's created balling Bolingoli, Taylor, Bernabe, Schlupp, God, there's been a few others. Laxalt. God almighty, the fact is we've all roads lead back to Tierney, quite
We've
literally.
always get Bolingoli at Ibrox. That was a good
mean,
time.
listen, what a performance. We will probably come back to Tierney. Let me bundle a few together here. Inamura, Yamada, Osmond and Doohan. Now, they might not be the names that Celtic fans were expecting for this window, but its depth. Inamura has certainly impressed Celtic fans. Yamada, with the 45 minutes, impressed Celtic fans. Osmond and Doohan know their roles. Is this just a case, Kieran, of building the depth in that squad, giving ourselves options for the future? And who knows, maybe could come good sooner than the future.
I mean, it definitely does look like future planning there, but with some of the players, it's been a whole outcry, obviously, around players like Inamura and Yamada when they're signing them. People are in uproar because we're not spending big money. We're getting linked to other players that's fell through. But I'm not going to write anybody off. I feel like with some of the players we've brought in, I think you're allowed to give people time now. When you look at, nobody knew who Kyogo was and all that coming in. Granted, when they came in, they were top of the division. Like, Kyogo was top goal scorer in Japan, and obviously, I want to give him time, and I want to be positive and say that it will work out. I'm just not going to tear a signing down before they've been given a proper chance to
Which
shine.
was, a lot of people were doing that. For example, dealing with Inamura before he'd even kicked a ball, and then people went from saying that it was a waste of 250 grand to saying that he should be playing minutes this season. He's going to be the Tierney understudy. It just shows how fickle, I suppose, we can be.
To be fair, I don't think the Inamura situation was helped by Rogers' comments.
Exactly.
That did fuel with the fire.
Aye.
I think that's what was more frustrating when he first came in. When you seen Brendan Rodgers saying he wasn't really part of the plans, he was a future player, but then we've seen him play and he looks good in the ball and stuff, and it gives you that talking point is, could he be a backup for Tierney as well, and could he play a part in this season, which I think he could, to be honest. But it's that way, you're just looking at the signings, and as you just touched on there, like, they know their roles as well, and there's no much high expectation for some of the players, which I guess could give them the chance to prove that they can be, and they can get to that level as well. So it'd be just interesting to see what they do, because obviously now we've got is it 4 strikers now, obviously, with Calum, so we know he's meant to be one for the future, but it'll be interesting to see what they do, because obviously they talk about Idan Kenny as well, who's going to play, will we bring in another striker, but for now, like, the signings are solid enough and they know their roles.
So the only one that we've not spoke about is the one who's due to complete his Celtic medical tomorrow. We're hearing that Jamai Simpson-Pusey, or as I think we're going to try and refer to him as JSP, just to...
let's just coin that phrase to save a lot of time. Hassle,
a lot of time as well. You know, it's a long day. I mean, if you're trying to talk through a back four prediction, you're going Cameron, Carter Vickers and Jamai. That's settings that don't need to be wasted there, you know. He's got his medical booked for tomorrow. Could be a Celtic player as soon as tomorrow if all things go well. I like the look of him. I want to hear your thoughts on the situation itself. Is it what you were expecting with a centre half? A lot of people unhappy that we're loaning in academy players and maybe not looking forward to the future, and we're going to find ourselves back in this situation. Yada yada. What do you make of it, Kieran?
See, I feel like I'm in a very weird middle ground with this transfer window, because I'm not going to sit here and pretend I think everything's rosy. I do think there is still some improvement definitely needed in the squad, especially moving forward. But I don't think it's this unmitigated disaster that some people seem to have resigned themselves to. There's still time left in this window. There's still times to right the wrongs. And once again, you're looking at a straight loan signing for Man City and an academy player. It obviously doesn't fill you with immense confidence, but at the same time, last season we spent £6 million on Austin Trusty, and he got dogs abuse for half of the season.
Aye.
He was at points getting bullied off of centre forwards with any physicality heading his way. It seemed like he shucked the challenge. That was £6 million spent. And that brings back to the whole thing about money doesn't guarantee you quality. And obviously, it kind of reminds me, obviously, he's a bit younger than what Carter Vickers would have been back when we got him on loan initially. But we've seen the successful times where Celtic have brought somebody in on loan and then paid your £6 million sort of fees. Done it with Carter Vickers, done it with Jota. If it was, I think fans would be a bit more receptive to it if there was a guaranteed, or you can get him for this price at the end of it. But the fact that he's supposedly part of Man City's future plans and that, I don't know where I stand on that.
It's a difficult situation. Pep apparently rates him really highly. He's PL2 Player of the Year, one of England's best prospects. It's no somebody that Celtic are going to be able to. Let's just be real here. We're not going to sign him next year unless he has a stinker, and then why would we? But I think quality-wise, Dylan, he looks solid enough. I guess it means that we can spend money in other areas. What do you think about it all as well? I'll just get your thoughts on it.
Similar to Kieran, it's like a weird middle ground, Ryan, to be fair. I think the thing that I'm more annoyed about is the fact that even if he does have a great season, hopefully he does, and he's not going to be part of the plans next season, obviously, because it'd probably be out of their price range, and obviously it's meant to just be a loan, no option to buy. So I think that's a wee bit frustrating, because even if he has a good season, you get excited about him, it's time for him to go, and then you're back to square one again, you're looking for another centre-back to be Carter Vickers. Obviously, hopefully Trusty has a good season, obviously with the money spent, but it's just a wee bit frustrating for me that he'll be like that sort of player. But don't get me wrong, I hope he has a great season and stuff, and as you said, rated highly by Pep and stuff, and been in that team of the season and that. So it's an exciting one, so hopefully he's going to be be a first team player, even though the age is quite young.
The point that you brought up, Kieran, as well, and you were also touched on it there about being academy players and such. I feel it's just such a... And we're going to get on to the moaning about the window. Let's just maybe kind of transition into that. Celtic fans are either not happy or they're fine. They're ready to go. But there's a lot of people who are very unhappy. It is so difficult, because it seems like you get told, don't sign academy... I put up a tweet about this the other day in reply to an article. You know, don't sign academy players. Don't sign players from the J League. Don't sign lower league English players. Don't sign domestic players. Don't sign project players. Don't sign all players. Like, who do we sign? Like,
it's like, even if you say, you sign £10 million players, for the past year, all people have done is moan about £9 million on either £11 million on Arnie Ingles.
Exactly.
So it harps back to this: you can't win.
Do you just need to? Is it simply? And I think people in the comments will probably just say, do you simply just need to remove yourself for the social media space of aspect?
I think you do.
Is that just it? Because I feel like if you go to the pub and you sit down and you talk about all of this, yeah, they're going to get the same extent of contradiction and the same extent of moaning as you would get when you open Twitter.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I've been actively avoiding it, because as I said, I'm not sitting here chuffed with the window we've had. I feel like it obviously has went very quiet. It's frustrating to hear the stories about maybe no meeting certain valuations for players and stories like that emerging. I'm not happy about that, but at the same time, I'm not writing off every signing that's came through the door. I'm not judging them because they only cost X amount of money. It's just it's just every season we need to deal with this. And as you said, I feel like it's a social media problem, because you go on and that's all you see is just constant moaning about it. And not to talk about the other side too much, but I don't think it's helped that
they've been making signings.
They've been making signings because they're in a proper rebuild season. Obviously, they need to make a lot of signings, but you're seeing a lot of people panicking big time because they've signed some players for the English divisions, and I don't know if it's more because people have got maybe a clue who they are because they're just down the road. But if you look at Celtic's track record of signings, we've sat here before, we don't know who Celtic's next group of players is going to be, because we've not heard of them, unless you watch like Norwegian leagues and all that. Like, you're not going to know who
the Danish Superliga,
unless you're an avid aficionado, fucking
European
random
football,
European leagues. Like, you're not going to know. And everybody's been finding that, and it works.
And that's the system that's worked for Celtic for the last... I mean, in the last decade, I can name maybe a handful of players that have came up for down south for Celtic and have been a big success. Matt O'Reilly, Fraser Forster, Scott Sinclair, and beyond they three, there's probably people will be screaming at me because I forgot some. I mean, Moussa Dembele, I suppose, but he was an academy player that hadn't really played for Fulham. I can't think of, all of our big stars over the last few years, Kyogo, Maida, other guys, Jota and all the rest of it, they've all kind of came from places we would never have heard them or seen them play. So I guess, Kieran, Dylan, I'll come to you. I mean, what's your thoughts? Are Celtic fans in a situation right now where we are the board warranting the abuse they're getting? Because I would say that is perfectly valid concerns. The board are pissing about, but like, is it over the top is basically what I'm saying.
I think to an extent, because I think you can be frustrated and you can be happy at the same time at certain aspects. Like, I think as you just touched on, I think the most annoying part for me was like when you're seeing the bids and the clubs like told you what they want and they're just kind of messing about trying to get away with the cheaper option and stuff. Like, if you really want a player, just go in and pay the big money. If you want to get to that next level, just go all out and get the player that you're wanting. But the fact that as well, like, we're sitting now, we're like, obviously the Kyogo problem was dealt with Maida going through the middle, and we get away with that to an extent in January, but there's been times where like even we get rid of Kuhn just lately and people saying get a winger right now, but it's the fact we knew Kuhn was probably going to leave. Like, you seen he was unhappy towards the end of the season and stuff, and to replace him is quite important. So I think to an extent you could say that yes, she should be annoyed, but there's also like moments here, like obviously got Tierney back for what we've done, so it's a bit up and down for me.
Well, Rodgers said that they were expecting offers to come for Kuhn and for Kuhn maybe to leave as well in the summer. So I guess to end off the whole transfer and summer catch-up discussion is, you know, Rodgers' position now has been subject of heavy debate. Has he been let down? Is he just putting on a brave face because he's been basically admitting to the media, I need more, I want more, and it's going very, very slowly. His exact words the other night were maybe a coach moves at a different pace from the people in charge of the transfers. But at this point, Kieran, we're all seriously doubting his future with Celtic, because it seems like we're repeating. I mean, as you said, I think I 100% agree. I think some of it's OTT. I think you get a right winger in this team, and it's a very good Celtic side. Like, I saw that tweet today about a starting 11. We're a right winger away from having a pretty solid team. But I think Rodgers would have thought he was having more, Kieran. So what do you think about all that? Do you think Rodgers is in a position to be quite disheartened?
I know he definitely is, because as we've said, more definitely needs to be done this transfer window, and I think it's annoying people. Obviously we're talking about how slow it's moving, but it's because we're now days away from the start of the season. We're no far away from our Champions League qualifier, and as you said, it feels like a kind of repeating the mistakes of the past by no backing Rodgers, and like, we've seen this exact situation play out before. I'm confident we will get more signings in the door, but I don't think it's going to be in a timely fashion. I think it will be typical Celtic, leaving it to the last minute.
You happy with that, Celts?
Fuck off.
Sorry,
I was going to say, I think that's what's annoying for us as well. I think last season and stuff you can maybe get away with it, like leaving it that late, but see now that this season you've got the Champions League qualifiers, like we're like one bad result away in that game for like an absolute meltdown. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
you need, like, they should be looking at that. Like, you want to get in players, as Kieran said there, we're going into the first game of the season now, and you're like still a wee bit cautious and stuff. So the fact that you've not got some of the business done earlier like that is quite annoying, but it's just that way. Like, you might not get away with it as much this season that you did last season just because of the qualifiers.
On that note, let me ask you this. It's been a common theory for maybe what's happening. Do you think Celtic are waiting as a club to find out if they're in the competition before they spend?
See, that feels like that is such a Celtic thing to do. Like, we'll just wait to if we get into the Champions League group stages and then we'll start splashing and bringing in the players. But it's just that it's quite a bold, risky move.
That was like less than a week between finding out you're in the competition and the transfer window slamming shut.
I think it's like the 28th of August to the 1st of September. Is that
1st or 2nd of September?
So
no, a 5 days time.
And soon you've got the squad in it for the Champions League.
The weekend after the second leg
is a derby. So it's going to be a very busy weekend.
As well.
Well, let me put it this way, right? Let me, on a scale, to end it off, on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you with this window right now in a scale of happiness?
I'll put it down the middle and go 5.
5,
but just because I think it'll be.
I would say about 5, 6.
So let me ask you this: how many more signings do you need to be to get up to a 10? What do you, or not even number of signings? What do you need to be a 10?
I mean, we obviously need a right winger in, somebody that fans would maybe associate with the sort of proven quality. I mean, it's all went quiet on like the ballot we shift front, but I think fans would want that calibre of signing, somebody that we've been linked with. It's not going to be cheap, exactly, and as I said earlier, it doesn't guarantee quality, but I think that's the calibre you need there. I still think we're a bit light on the wings, especially with Jota. Even if we get that, your options behind Maida and this new right winger is Forrest and Yang, because Tilly was off as well, but I'd maybe say another winger.
Right, 2 wingers?
Centre half.
No, centre half. Is that JSP, or would you want another one?
I just don't rate Liam Scales to be a backup.
It's perfectly fine. Anything?
Another one as well. I think midfield's probably our most strong position, but even then I always thought a CDM would have been a nice addition, but I think right now it's too stacked maybe, that I don't think they'll bring in one. So I think same as Kieran, maybe a winger or 2 and then a centre back.
Fair enough. Anything, open the floor, anything at all that wants to be mentioned before we move on to the half-time quiz?
Just for you to talk about midfielders there, I know it was pure nonsense the other day, but see when you see us getting linked to other central midfielders like that Badgetic or whatever for Liverpool, I was like, right. When you see things like that getting floated like that, they're obviously a good quality player, but when you kind of turn your nose up at the fact that we've got about 1 million central midfielders. I don't think we need any more.
The confusing one is that the boy backing, and I thought Celtic were going to be. He's got to Basel now. You just watch him knock us at the Champions League.
Him and Albion high fiving in the away.
That's a strange one. I guess we'll never really know what happened. Anything at all, Dylan?
I don't know if you want to talk about it in later on, but I was like, the striker position, I think it's quite an interesting one for me.
I think we need a striker.
But see right now, who is your starting 11? Is it still Ida, like your main striker?
Yeah.
Aye. I
Yes,
think the Yamada one's an interesting one because, like, obviously his track record for last season's a bit, so you don't know what to expect, and you don't know who's second and third choice, and you don't know who's coming and going or staying.
Aye. Well, listen, there's a few. We'll have another 4 podcasts before the window shuts anyway. So I guess we've got a few weeks to talk about it. It doesn't all need to be covered today. We'll move the show on. Let's go to half time. We've got a half time quiz, which today will be hosted by Kieran, and it's a new one. It's a fresh one. Kieran, would you like to explain what you have for us?
So, once again, no originality here. This has been stolen from TikTok.
Like everything in today's world.
That's who we are, mate.
But I'm sure you are familiar. I've sent it in the chat. But anyway, the viewers at home, it's Football 501. You might have seen it on TikTok.
Do you know
the name of the game is? Aye. Are you familiar with the arrows? But Ryan and Dylan will both start on 501. The whole thing is appearances. With Celtic, we're a bit more limited. So today I'm going to be saying Scottish players to have played for Celtic. But it's simple enough. But remember, it needs to be a score you can get with 3 darts in darts. So 180 in ball. And obviously, you've got scores like 169, 168, 166, 165, 163, 162 and 159 that cannot be hit with 3 darts.
So
you could be unlucky and say a player that's had 165 appearances, and I'm afraid that would be a no score.
Right, okay.
But we're going to go Scottish players. Simple as that.
Scottish players' appearances for Sellik.
Can I double check, Kieran? So see, like, say me and Ryan's on like 74 or something, and then you get somebody with like 80 appearances.
So you would then go to -6, but the next player has a chance to get it closer to 0, and then whoever ends up
Starts working out a wee bit like the golf at that point, doesn't it? We go for
that's
darts,
a triple bogey.
Just Scottish players.
The Wi-Fi's working all right here, but obviously when a player's name is said, I'm going to.
He's going to have to check it. So if I can be bothered editing, maybe we'll shorten this down a wee bit, but hopefully we'll be all right. Want me to do wee heads or tails to see who goes first?
Aye.
Dylan, heads or tails?
Tails.
Heads or tails?
Heads.
Oh, there you go.
It does fail.
There you go. So I'm first up then. Scottish players that have played for Celtic.
He won the bill.
Appearances under 180. I will start off with. Oh my God! This is like Paul Lambert. It's definitely got to be out. It's got about 200 odd in it.
For this week, and I'm sorry to report, it's going to need to be Wikipedia. And Ryan, according to Wikipedia, Paul Lambert has 193 appearances. So that's a no score. Straight off the bat.
Bastard. I went highest. I went lower.
I don't know if this is over as well, but we're just talking about him. I'm going to go Tierney.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's
I
safe.
don't know, 3 seasons. 3 and a bit.
No, he's never made 180.
102.
It's a good start.
So we can
is that
knock
all?
that
That's
off.
a good start. Right, so I've got to go again now. God, that's really been
This will be half because it's Wikipedia, but it takes too much time when transferring that.
Right, I'm
102. I thought.
I'm going to go for. I've got no concept. See, like how many years somebody before my birth played. Like, so I was going to say like Tosh McKinley, but I don't know how many years he was in the starting 11 and whatnot. Do it, Ronnie Simpson. Give me Ronnie Simpson.
According to Wikipedia, 118 appearances, so you can take that away.
Take that. Nice.
I was going to say Mikey Johnston, but he's Irish, I guess, isn't he?
In that situation, I think I would maybe give you.
Aye.
I'll go Ryan Christie.
95 appearances for Ryan Christie.
That's a decent shout.
I'll take
It's annoying me, these are going to be way off the actual stats, but.
Right, give me Mark Wilson.
Oh. 98.
That's it? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is that it? Wait, more than that.
Kieran, I'll go. This might be. I'll go Stephen McManus. So imagine somebody going to spot on 180 man at the class.
Oh, yeah, flip the table.
That's a very good score for Dylan because Steve McManus 150.
Oh wow,
Free bulls. Free bulls.
That's deadly
nice.
accuracy, right?
I feel like on that note, it's quite responsible to go for Gary Caldwell.
His partner in crime.
I feel like you said Steve McManus. First thing that came to my head is Gary Caldwell.
Gary Caldwell made 106 appearances.
That's decent.
That's all right. 106. Oh, aye. I'm on 179.
I think I'm on 154. So.
Could you get a check out here?
Big darts finish. Joe Armstrong.
I was thinking Armstrong. I was thinking Armstrong.
98.
Oh,
Stuart
that's
Armstrong.
decent.
Yeah, I'll take
That's
that. I'll
decent.
take that.
That's decent.
You've done quite well to get players within this
Aye.
sort of frame.
I feel like this is going to be less than 100. Rab Douglas.
108 for Rab
I'll
Douglas.
that's a good, you know.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
So what are we both
I'm
sitting
going
at?
56.
56.
71.
71.
Oh,
Oh,
so this could be it.
Oh,
This
that's
could
really
be it.
what.
because we're kind of low, I'll go Tony Watt. This season a little bit.
Maybe about 20 or 30, I'd say.
I'd have saved him if I was doing low to try and
Lower,
get just
aye.
under there. But we'll see what he's got. 25.
Right.
25
Right.
appearances.
I feel like this could go either way, my guess. I feel like it's either going to be nowhere near what I need or he's going to have just over, so it is a risk. But I'm going to go for the assistant manager, John Kennedy. Make sure you don't get up John Fitzgerald. Kennedy.
I tried to do that. Matt Ryan says he was killed in that. Oh,
Let's see.
28.
That's it.
Oh.
Bloody
I thought that was Mary as well.
I'm doing 43.
43 and 31. So no, at this point, I think you can go under, can't you?
Aye.
Aye. But it's just about who can.
Well, we make this the
Simple.
last start. Is this the last guesses? And then whoever's closer
Aye,
to
we
zero
do that,
wins.
so we're not here all day.
Aye.
Aye.
Right, I've got mine in my head.
Day Scott Bain, but I think that's got to be high.
Oh, Scott.
I think that's got to be high. I just can't think, man.
Yeah, it could be genius. It could be genius. You never know. You never know.
But I think that's a shocker, to be honest. I can't think. Well, he's gone back for time.
Scott Bain, across his two spells,
Yeah, bust a lot,
has
yeah.
had 53.
So that's even above me. So I've got a chance to win.
So you-
What do I
it's
need to
minus
win?
22,
Right.
so you've got a
What are you
margin.
on?
eh?
43.
Duh,
Yeah, dirty, but it was a good game. I enjoyed that.
Nah, well played.
Enjoyed
Nah,
that.
well played.
Montgomery's done me in there.
He's got to have played more than 10 games. Umpteen loan moves.
Someday, if they want to do the proper maths and tell us if there was a
The
real
G4
winner.
Wi-Fi has done it.
But Dylan wins the first ever Darts 501. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's time for our first match preview of the season. And we'll spend the next 15-20 minutes talking about that. We celebrate Flag Day against St Mirren, who coincidentally are the team who we lifted the trophy against on the 17th of May. Going to be a tough game. Kieran, how important is it to get off to a convincing, not just a good start, but a convincing start this weekend?
I think after all the sort of rumblings that have been going on all summer long regarding the squad, people doing a wee bit of rewriting about the quality that is within this squad, I think it's important that we go out there and, as you said, put in a convincing performance, get a good, comfortable win. Obviously, you're treating Sunday's opponents with respect because on Trophy Day they managed to hold us to a 1-1 draw, in which we could only score in the
90th minute.
James Forrest certainly left it late last season to get his only goal, but
He's got to get in the first game this time.
first minute of it, like, just put that shit to bed quick.
I just start him doing it.
Give it, fuck yeah, and give it. But you were saying that it's really important.
It's so important. I think it would just help put a lot of people's nerves at ease a wee bit because it's been, as we've spoke about, it's been people are up to highs all the now with the transfer window. We know having competitive football, you need to find things to talk about and moan about. Having the actual football back, I think will be so vital to maybe silencing some of that. Obviously, it will help identify the areas that we definitely still need to improve on. But the manager and the higher ups know where we need to get players in. I think it's just about building a bit of momentum, and especially because we've got so many big games coming up as well. What just happened to you?
I blinded myself looking into the light. I'm going to have to put that on the screen there every time. What's he talking about? I didn't mean to cut you off there.
But I know, especially we've got so many big games. We're away to Pataudry second game week. Then we've got Champions League qualifiers, and then before you know it, you're playing at Ibrox at the end of August.
Yep.
So the games are coming thick and fast already, and there's not going to be a moment to stop and breathe. So I think it is just about setting the tone early and keeping that going week after week.
There shouldn't be any doubt about how good this Celtic team is, Dylan. I know that we're down Nicholas Kuhn and Jota's injured, but you know, bar Nicholas Kuhn, the same starting 11 is still there on Sunday. It's still, and I know people get worried about depth, but it's a team that's good. Let me just go through the other games against St Mirren last year. 3-0, 3-0, 5-2. We beat them by 3 goals, on 3 separate occasions. The last game of the season, I think there was maybe just a little bit of fatigue, so let's get over the line, let's finish this. This is a good team, and I don't think we should be quick to forget that.
I think that's a good point you've made there, because obviously you've got your worries about the squad in general, but I think when you don't talk about the depth and actually going to the starting 11, it's night and day. It's a solid team. I think as you said there, even though St Mirren can be an awkward team now and again, we've more than enough to beat them, and especially at Celtic Park with a full house back for the first game of the season. I think it'll be a really good performance, I think, for Celtic. And as Kieran says, we've got games against Aberdeen and Rangers quite early on away from home, arguably the 2 hardest teams in the league other than us in that. So it's really important that you get off to a good start in this season, because I think you look at last season, that was really why last season felt a lot easier, was because it's how good we were that first half of the season. A lot of big derby wins, went in that whole unbeaten run with Aberdeen until they fell away a wee bit, and before you knew it we already had a big gap against Rangers, because you knew Rangers eventually would get up to that second place, and then before you know it you've got that gap. So it'd always be nice to go to, even if you go to Ibrox, win that game and get a wee 3-point advantage right away and put a bit of pressure on Rangers. So I think if anything, the start of the season is always the most important part. Like you can talk about later into the season we've settled, we've working as a team, but if anything, I think if you start the season good, you're putting pressure on your rivals, and I think that'd be a good way.
You've raised a really good point I've not even considered. The way that we started, the manner we started last season was, I mean, that was one of the best starts this. I mean, by December we were talking about matching that up beside Ange's ruthless season. We were, and I don't want people to forget how good we actually were in the opening stages, and it meant that we, as much as people didn't like it, we could afford to down tools a wee bit in the second half. You don't want them to do it. I'm not advocating for downing tools, but the pressure was off. We were miles clear. We were able to just maybe focus on European games, cup games, whatever. Yeah, you make a good point. What do you make of pre-season? What do you make of it? I mean, you can always take it by a pinch of salt. It's pre-season, but what did you think in the game?
It's a weird one this season. Like normally I don't look too much into pre-season, but obviously last season we had a good one against Man City and Chelsea and that, and you felt good going into the season. But this one's a bit of a weird one. I mean, you beat a Newcastle team that was fairly actually a good team. They had a good team out, beat them 4-0 comfortably and that, and then you go to Ajax and it just felt like after the first half the wheels just completely fell off. The defence was all over the place and it just didn't look like a good Celtic team. But it's an interesting one. Sometimes I don't like looking too much into the pre-season. Obviously go right into the main game and then we'll see how they play in the first game, but it's an interesting one. And then we're talking about the depth as well. It makes you a bit worried and stuff, but as you said, I think we'll be more than enough for the starting 11 to have a good performance and going into the season.
Pre-season hasn't helped those reservations. I mean, even though it's just a typical Celtic, innit? 1 minute you've beat Newcastle 4-0, everybody's hunky-dory, then you lose to Ajax quite heavily, and it's all back to Pete Tong. It's just a bit up and down.
I know, it's why you don't read too much into pre-season games, because people get carried away with the highs of beating Newcastle.
What happens if you go, like, we've lost 5-1 to Ajax, people lost to Rag, what happens if we beat, hypothetically, if we beat St Mirren 5-0 at the weekend? Then what? It was all worth nothing, wasn't it? It was all worth nothing. So for this first game of the season, Kieran, what do you want to see most from Celtic? And that could be a specific player, it could be a system, it could be just general scoreline. What's the main takeaway? What do you want to sit with in the 90th minute and go, I was happy about that today?
I think it's just about, I feel like too many games last season, the first half, it kind of fell into the old habit. It reminds me of maybe Rodgers' first spell, where it's like, in the first half of games, it feels like we're flying, and then the second half, we just sort of, you can even look at it at that Ajax game, that was a sign of just completely dropping off in the second half. Granted, we won't be making large wholesale changes in domestic games, but I think it is just about, I want to see a certain level of tempo and intensity being played throughout the entire game, and bringing on players that are going to keep that up, and you don't see the energy levels drop off. Granted, it is early in the season, we're not going to be up to full speed yet, but I think it's important just to try and set that tone game after game to look to keep improving. But and also as well, if you're coming up against St Mirren, a team that will have hopefully higher ambitions for themselves this season than they did last, but you're hoping that we can show that we're not going to be completely stymied when we come up against a team that's going to sit in behind the ball, because even though they might try and play some nice stuff, realistically, most of the teams we're playing in this league, we're going to need to break down defences. And I think it's just about having the creative outlets there to get through like a low block. And I'd like to see us navigate that pretty well in the first game.
That was something, Dylan, that I felt last year was maybe the main criticism. Even when we were flying, maybe the main criticism always kind of came back to, well, we don't really have a plan B. If plan A wasn't working, then it was sort of, we seen the games where it'd be 0-0, and we get towards the end and you're like, okay, nothing's changing here, and then we'd maybe rely on a bit of luck, or maybe we didn't get any luck at all. Actually, we drew a good few games last year, didn't we? Is that something that you hope maybe has been worked on during the summer, is maybe developing a plan B?
Aye, definitely. I think that was a good point Kieran made. I think, see, when you seen it happen, it wasn't even just a wee bit, it was pretty drastic. It got to that level where it was like, I think one of the first games we dropped points last season was Dundee United, and you seen it was like, throughout that night, we could have played for about all day, a full 400 minutes, and we would not have scored, like, honestly. So I think it'd be really good this season to, like, as you said, see when you're breaking down that defence, when teams are making it that frustrating, just to have that creative spark, and then the subs come on, and you just, they know the plan, they know what they're wanting to do to get that goal, because last season it did get pretty rough when it wasn't going Celtic's way eventually, when, even though, because so a lot of the times if Celtic won a game, we'd break the teams down in the first half and it was game over, but when it doesn't happen, it was pretty brutal sometimes.
I tell you who I think's a big part of is going to maybe come in to make that happen, and we missed. I remember saying this a few times in the podcast and on my channel in general last year. I thought we missed O'Reilly big time. I thought we missed that attacking midfielder. I think Mirren could be huge for that. I'm hoping that's the kind of player he is, to kind of unlock those pockets in games like that and maybe find something, because we missed that, I think, last year. Maybe Engels wasn't the attacking midfielder that people thought he was when he came in, more of a sitting midfielder. Obviously Hatate was kind of in and out and stuff like that. Maybe Nygren's the guy that comes in and fills that void.
I know, because that's something that we never really touched on last year. We losing O'Reilly, you just assumed the new record signing was going to be, because he's a young guy, he's a midfielder, he's going to be in the O'Reilly mould, and it just maybe wasn't that way, and it changed the way our midfield played. But at the start of last season we were flying, the midfield looked untouchable at the time, so we never really noticed. I think it was more as it tailed off towards the end of the season, but people speak about the downturn in form, especially after like Munich and that. But Dylan was talking about the game against Dundee United. The game that immediately popped into my head, we were talking about struggling to break a team down, was when we went to McDermott Park last year. We could have set up winning the league at Celtic Park the game before the split, but we choked it up there. That was a game that was so frustrating to watch.
Terrible. It was terrible. I remember, obviously we were there that day. Perfect view in the halfway line.
Perfect view for fuck all.
for nothing at all. And St Mirren certainly have the capabilities to do that. Stephen Robinson is brutal. I respect the hell out of him as a coach, because he knows how he's taken St Mirren to the top half. He'd done it with Motherwell previously. He knows how to get results. It might not be pretty, he knows how to do it, but the word is brutal. Calum Phillips, who caused problems for Celtic, he's now permanent. Liam Donnelly is the most Stephen Robinson player I could ever think of. He's joined them. Dylan, this has the potential to be a painful game if we don't maybe hit the ground running.
I think you said it well there. I was actually going to say, I think out of all the teams in the league, I think if there's a team that can be frustrating and give you a hard time, it is St Mirren, other than obviously Livingston come back up. But St Mirren are like, in fair play to them, the same as you, I respect it, because obviously if you've got a place like Celtic Park, you need to make us frustrated, and I think St Mirren have always been like quite a physical team as well, quite good like, when it comes to winning the ball and stuff, and they're a lot more physical than Celtic, I think. So I think on the day, if they're really up for it and we're not, it could be a pretty brutal day.
I think all 11 teams in the league are more physical than Celtic, to be quite honest. But no, Kieran, I mean, I did rhyme off those results where we beat them by 3 goals on 3 separate occasions, but they are a tricky team to beat. They really are. And my worry is that even if I would be happy with any win this weekend, but we talked about needing a convincing performance. If Celtic were to beat a very well set up St Mirren only 1 or 2-0, should we still be very happy about that, leaving the stadium? Because they are a tough team, man.
I think it is just depending on how the game plays out, but I don't see any way, if Celtic were to win 1-0 on Sunday, I don't see any way that half of the sport wouldn't have a meltdown anyway. So I'm not going to even say my piece on that until we'll see how the game pans out, and then we can worry about it. Let's cross that bridge when we come.
Do you want to do starting 11 predictions? I have mine wrote down, so I'll come to you with each kind of area. Defence, I know what you're going to say. No more Liam Scales. Do you think that'll be the case?
I don't actually know, but in
I
a
don't-
perfect world,
Do you think that GISP will be? Surely he won't be there in time by
no,
Sunday.
he won't be involved.
So what do you think is going to be the back four? Casper and goals.
Obviously, Tierney on the left, Carter Vickers, probably Scales, and then is Johnson ready to start.
Well, he was on the bench, wasn't he, in the last friendly? Will he play it safe, go with Alston for the first game?
Probably play it safe just to get Johnson back into the
Bring him
team.
on with half an hour to go.
Aye, I don't think it'll be like he'll get a 10-minute appearance. I think he'll want to try and build the minutes up for him,
Aye.
especially as we were talking about the big games coming up. But aye, I'd say Ralston to start.
The big one is Scales or Trusty, Dylan. Do you think he'll stick with Scales?
Exactly same as Kieran. I think I want Trusty, but I think it'll be Scales. I just think he does that a lot. Brendan Rodgers, didn't he?
Just to
Always.
piss me
Bring me-
Listen, if he drops one more stinker, that might be it.
It can't go on like
We've been
this.
saying this for years.
Midfield three, we spoke about it earlier in the podcast. We alluded to the fact that there could be a new strongest midfield three in town, Dylan. Is that your midfield three for the weekend?
I would say so. Aye.
Nigren, Hatate and McGregor.
McGregor, aye.
Big season for McGregor. Trying to show that he's still got it. Confident of him having another year.
I think this year anyway. I think it will still be the same on McGregor. I don't think we need to worry now about Calum. I was about to say Conor McGregor.
Oh, we need to worry about him. We need to worry about him.
I don't think right now this season. I don't think we need to worry about Calum McGregor getting older, getting like. I think he'll still be at that level as a captain as well. I think he'll be alright. So I would do it free.
And then front three. I mean, Brendan's already came out and said that Yang, as it stands, is probably the starting right winger. But I still see him starting Forrest at the weekend after. I don't know why.
Just for that one.
You know what Rodgers is like, but he
Aye.
says things like, I love him to bits. I love you, Brendan. But he talks some about his right.
Aye,
He'll come
big
out and he'll
time.
say, yeah, that's our best player ever. Benches him, next week. So I actually think it's going to be Forrest Maida and Ida at the weekend. But I mean, I guess it's all up for grabs between Yang and Forrest for that shot.
No, as I said earlier, start Forrest so we can hopefully get a goal. Put that to bed this
aye.
season. 17 season man.
Because that's, we've done the last few episodes before the season finished, we've done like the building a cooking for folk. Forrest goal in the first 10 minutes. Get that when you're cooking.
I should want him starting now just for that. Get an early goal. I'd be quite cinema with it.
I know, but sitting in the stands like
They've started the way they ended it last season.
just a big sigh of relief.
Who come now?
Any final thoughts on the game? Before I come to score predictions, I just air your grievances about I say grievances, air your thoughts in general.
I think it's more just if we'll see any more of the new signings playing. Like, obviously, like in Amara and stuff in Yamada, like will he be on the bench before he come on, make a wee cameo and stuff?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like you said.
I would like to see Inamura get a chance domestically to kind of weigh up if he's, should we get carried away? Should we be?
See, that's the issue. I mean, I think Mark said it in the chat last week, talking about Inamura. You're looking at that. He's obviously looked decent in pre-season. Right now, you'd probably be alright with him being the backup to Tierney, but there's also Kieran Tierney we're talking about with not the best injury record on the planet. If it came to it in the Champions League, and Kieran Tierney, God forbid, was injured and out for a big game, say you're playing at Real Madrid or something in the Champions League, are you in your head happy to have?
Oh, that was
Inamura?
that was what I was saying, because so let me just put it out for people who don't know. There's a boy in our group chat said I'm fine with Inamura being the backup, and I'm like, no, cool. I'm not pulling you down. I'm not saying you're not allowed to be happy with Inamura being the backup. But my point was, right, Inamura's a backup. Kieran Tierney gets injured the game before we play Real Madrid in the Champions League. Suddenly, are you happy about Inamura being the backup? Like, should we be banging on that? That was the point I raised. I'm like, it's nothing about Inamura. It's just a wee bit of reservation in my mind.
I mean, it harps back to the thing we spoke about in this podcast before. I mean, it goes back seasons. I'm pretty sure it was even talked about people like Stephen Welsh and Ralston. You're all right with them being squad players, but the very definition of being a squad player is you're there to be called upon when needed.
Aye.
And then when the time does come that they're called upon, people are never happy that
Aye, that's
they're in
true,
a starting
that's true.
lineup. So
It's not as if you're going to have two Kieran Tierneys. It's just not going to happen. In a perfect world, you have Kieran Tierney and Andy Robertson both coming here to finish their career, but alas.
it's not career mode.
Nah, it is not career mode. Score predictions.
I'm hoping for a wee 3-0.
Oh, starting big. 3 goals, clean sheet.
I think 3-1.
3-1. No clean sheet.
No clean sheet. Sadly.
I'm going to go for... I'm going to go with you, 3-1. I think we'll concede a wee heater or something. Just
I'm trying to be an optimist here. New season, new me.
Kieran optimistic, you'd never believe it. Right, and before we move on to the Twitter questions, I have quick fire questions for you, so we can look back on the end of the season. Now, I didn't bring this up on the final episode, and I really should have. But can I remind people that both me and Kieran, well, I'm not too sure if I did, but I know Kieran did. Last year when I asked for surprise player of the season, Kieran Auld did answer Luis Palma. So
who am I cussing this season? That's the real question.
So I'm going to go through quick fire questions. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I don't want a big justification, just quick fire answers. Player of the year, who will it be?
Maeda.
Maeda.
I said Maeda.
You said
again.
Maeda as well. I've gone Rio Hitati. I think Rio Hitati could be the player of the year. I'm also going to get Calum's up because he did submit his via satellite.
Can we say like new right winger who we don't know?
Yeah, you can, if you want, you can see that. So he went for Cameron Carter-Vickers. So he went CCV, I went Hitati, you
Good
two
shout.
have
I like the shouts though. That's good shouts.
The reason I didn't go for Maeda is because I'm worried he could be off in January if things go a wee bit, so I kind of held back. I know I jinxed that though.
Fair point.
Surprise player of the season, if you've got any.
I'm going to go Engels.
That's mine. I've got Engels as well.
I think first full season and
Aye,
stuff.
aye. Just
you
get
see the best of
get a
him.
lot of people what they were maybe expecting of him. Mm-hmm.
Let's cuss Yamada. Sorry,
Good
sorry,
shout.
man.
Good shout. McKeown is what Calum went for. Decent shout. Top goal scorer. Calum went with Maeda.
If I've said him for player of the year, it's going to be
Right.
Maeda.
Aye, Maeda.
I've gone Adam Ida.
Stick with your boy.
I'm putting my balls on the table and I'm saying
Please don't.
and I'm going Adam Ida. 30 goals.
Fetishistic.
Telling you, 30 goal season. Let's have it. Let's fucking have it. How many more signings will be made after Jayamai Simpson Pusey? 3.
I'll go 3.
We've all went 3. Me and Calum have also gone 3
I
as
still
well.
think that leaves us a player short.
Aye.
But
Aye.
that would be very Celtic.
Now, I hope you've maybe thought of this. If you haven't, you don't need to give me an answer because it could take time, but I've got mine. One season prediction outside of all the questions I've already asked can be anything at all. Champions League related, Derby related, whatever. Any prediction.
I think we'll beat a big team this season, like a big giant.
Oh, like
It's been a while, man.
like a big boy.
Aye, I'm bold shout. I'm
like
going
a
for
pot one.
Aye, like a Bayern or a Real or something.
Oh, right, okay.
It probably won't happen, but that's my
Kieran's
shout.
face.
I'm going for it.
I know I said I was being optimistic, but
Well, I'm talking about optimism. Calum has went with we will witness an away win in Europe. So, hopefully it's real.
Tie that in, Calum, tie that in. That's the
You
big
got
one.
one?
I've not got one. I don't want to be here all day.
I've went for Brendan Rodgers will get his treble back.
Bloody hell.
Balls on the table, mate.
And leave.
Get them off the fucking table, man.
Nah, it's just a bit of fun. But I think he'll be hungry after missing it last year. Because the final question is, will Rodgers be here this time next year? Yes or no? No. We'll talk about this in a future podcast.
I don't think so.
Calum has also said sadly no, which makes it 3 out of 4 because I think he will. The optimist in me sees him staying. But we'll talk about that in a few months' time. Twitter questions.
When do you get them up?
Anybody, Dylan.
Oh, you've got the Wi-Fi now.
You've
You've
got
got
it
the
there. So
Wi-Fi
Dylan
now.
is going to host our Twitter questions this week. Give you a piece from my voice. Dylan, fire on.
It's quite a lot this week, isn't there? So I'll start with Liam. Liam's back saying, another year of Kieran, we will be there. That's what I think that's what he was saying. Anyway, hope you had a good time off. Just wondering, what's your thoughts are on sauce and what your favourite sauces are? Cheers. Mind that time Jen hit an overhead kick away at Kelly. Some laugh, eh?
I am a big fan of condiments.
I know. I've always touted myself as a condiment man.
I love a condiment. I love sauces. My favourite sauce? God, that's a toughie. That is a toughie.
Lately, I've been using the fake Chipotle Southwest for Aldi.
I've said,
Unreal.
still not tried it.
It's so hard to get a hold of now.
I didn't want to go down the basic route, but I need to do it because it is my favourite sauce. Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue. It's honey barbecue sauce. It is gorgeous.
I go through very limited phases where I'm into
Barbecue. Mm-hmm. Get Sweet Baby Ray's, it'll change your life. Have you had Sweet Baby Ray's?
I think so.
Bloody
I want to try that now.
Matt, if you have to think, you've not had
It's
it.
dear though. It's like for $4.65 for a bottle or something like that. It's a pricey one, but we get the big one at a Costco, save a wee bit, you know.
Aye.
You got.
I like the Nando's lemon and herb. Quite like that one. I've been backing that now. So
We're back. This is what the podcast's all about. Fuck's sake.
Oh my god, that's silly shit.
thanks, Liam, for your question. Next question's Alistair's come in saying, "Hey guys, what Still Game episode is your favourite? Here's to another treble. Hail, hail, love the show."
Brilliant. Thank you, Alistair. Mine's always been the same. Fly Society.
that or I love Smoke on the Water.
See, that's always been my least favourites.
Nah, I love it, man.
But it's
Down
good.
the River Kelvin. No.
I love the one Winston with the bookies, just his leg and that. That's the classic, innit?
aye.
It's like, oh man, he's like, oh, where's my stick? No.
But I tell you what,
That's a good one, I know.
None of us have mentioned Cairds, which is
A classic.
Arguably a top 10 TV episode ever of any show. Cairds.
I will say, I've not really been watching Still Game the past 5 years. Like, I used to watch it all the time, but I don't know.
Love it. Love the shite.
So I don't think I've rewatched any of the newer
ones?
seasons.
I did that a couple of years ago. Anyway. There's our favourites.
Cheers, Alistair. So, hope I'm saying this right. Damon's come in saying, rank these players at Celtic: Kuhn, Abada, El Yunusi, and Roberts. That's a good. That's a good.
Well, that is interesting.
That's an interesting one. That.
Oh. Kuhn, Abada, El Yunusi, and Roberts. I'm stuck between El Yunusi and Abada for first.
I think I'd say Abada maybe just purely for derby goals and stuff.
Aye, that was a big impact. I don't think it helped with El Yunusi that a lot of our memories of him was in that COVID season as well. That kind of brings him down a bit.
I think.
But he was good. People working under shite conditions, man.
Roberts was unlucky, wasn't he, with injury?
I know.
That is tough. That is really tough. I think it's fine margins between a lot of these players.
It's a very good question. It's hard to separate. If I was to just quickly piece one together, Abada, tap for me.
Right.
Roberts.
Oh, Roberts at 2.
I just love them, man.
I saw that.
Kuhn and then El Yunusi. Harsh on El Yunusi
Right.
being Bolton, but
Right. See, I'm going to go a different. It's at Celtic he asked, didn't he?
Sorry?
Did he?
Oh, Celtic, aye,
at
sorry, mate, aye.
Celtic. Do you know what? I'm still going for it, and it's very. And I like it. At least it's different, I suppose. I'm going to Bad at top, but I'm going El Yunusi, Kuhn, Roberts last. That's what I'd put.
see with Roberts as well, it was like when he came back the second season, it just wasn't really.
Aye. As I said, I think it's fine margins. And see if you caught me in a different mood, I'd probably change that. But I'm going for that. Then that's mine.
That's just what I'm still thinking about. I think I'd say Abada, Kuhn, El Yunusi, Roberts. But maybe Kuhn's just recency bias. But
Aye.
I just think cup final goals and stuff.
The way that I was trying to look
Europe
at it is
goals.
if you boiled it down to technical ability, I think that the other three for me are better than a better football player
Aye.
than Roberts. But
Good question, man.
that is a good question. Really good.
So cheers. And CB17's come in saying, what is your thoughts on beans and toast?
Does the job.
I'm only having it if there's cheese on it as well.
I suppose.
Toast and cheesy beans, man.
I don't think I've had just beans and toast since I was about 10, to be fair. So
Aye. There's always got to be some cheese invited to that party.
aye.
It's a nice wee if you're just hungry end of the night, innit? Just stop
Aye.
up a wee beans and toast.
Pour it out.
But aye, cheers for your question. Add the lads back in saying,
Hey.
looking forward to kebab pie, question mark. It's back. We are back.
Oh, I'm back.
Forget the game, the kebab pie. And then he said, why the fuck is it the game on a Sunday evening?
Bollocks, man.
Aye. That
Ruins
is
your
pish.
whole plan. First game of the season, you want to get out pints and all the rest. And you're still kidding.
Aye.
But it's not the same. Saturday.
See, normally I would agree, but seeing Saturday, I'm like staying up late, so I think I'll be like rough. So I think
Aye,
this
aye.
is a rare time, I don't mind it,
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
any other time, it's a pain in the ass. But. And thoughts of Stephen Mulhern drowned in Loch Lomond.
I seen this earlier. What a weird
We are so
question to
back.
ask,
We are
guy.
so back.
I definitely did proclaim my
Hatred.
hatred for. It wasn't even a hatred of Stephen Mulhern last season. It was more there's skeletons in that closet. You
Aye.
can't be that nice,
Aye.
and I will find out what these skeletons are. I never got to the boat mate last season, but it's 25-26 this time, Stephen.
That's a Sellik podcast, isn't it? Yeah. Aye, Stevie, we're on to you.
Cheers, Dad. So next question's for Greg and Dyson Enthusiast saying, hello, the glorious panel, you have been sorely missed. My question for you today is, how many Kieran Aulds would it take to beat Cameron Carter-Vickers in a fight?
You can answer yourself.
Fuck, man, needs a bit a lot. I've got no muscle
We're
mass.
talking about double digits here.
Oh, easily double digits. My initial thought was like 40. I've got no strength in these arms.
I'd go 20.
You're very kind.
I'll go 15.
Fucking 15 or 20 of me just getting a paste. Just
him swinging his elbows as well.
me flying off in every direction.
Cheers for the question. Decky's in next saying, welcome back, boys. It's very fucking depressing, innit? What was the holidays like, anyways?
Was he just referring to life in general?
Maybe next Celtic, hopefully.
What was his question?
What's the second part?
What was the holidays like, anyways?
Great, fantastic.
Santa Ponza was unreal.
Santa Ponza was good.
Did you go to Celtic well?
No, we didn't.
Nah,
No,
nah.
actually, we didn't
I was saying
go
that was
to
the games, weren't even in it.
Aye. We went to Dublin on a couple of the other ones, but no, we were good fond visitors of Daniel's Corner and what was
Dirty Nelly's.
Nelly's, good up there, innit?
Aye.
Met a few Yanks.
Aye.
Good laugh. I couldn't believe there was Yanks in Santa
Aye,
Ponza.
that's quite a mad one, isn't it?
It was weird.
Why have you came here?
Cheers, Decky, for question. Next in is our pal Nathan saying, if the transfer window was an item of food from the Celtic Park kiosks, what would it be?
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Does the job, but very poorly.
Can you still get a rollover hot dog inside?
You can, aye.
I'll maybe say that.
What's your summary of that?
Hot dogs, hit or miss for me.
Right, aye.
So I'm trying to use that.
Aye, right, okay.
That's the reasoning behind it, because it can be alright, but
Aye.
most of the time it's fucking disgusting.
Right,
So
Cheers for your question. Lewis is in saying, thoughts on best kebab in town?
Never had one.
I've never had one. We actually walked by it all day.
Poor
And
guy, but
he's always getting... Man's
guy.
struggling for his life, isn't he, man?
are they TikTok pages of people just pelting
like,
eggs at his show?
my question
powder.
for Mr. Best Kebab is, at what point do you think, fuck this, and you pack up shop?
No, but like, it's... I don't know, allegedly,
allegedly.
we'll hang out with... There's no way that's not a front.
No.
How can that
I
possibly
know.
stay afloat, known as the most disgusting...
Kebab shop in the Northern Hemisphere.
Like, does he survive after the novelty of people gone and trying it to see how barking it is?
I know, it's... Stage got to be baseball bat, hasn't he?
It needs it, man.
Cheers for the question. Aaron's in, kind of already touched on it, saying thoughts on the Sunday full fit kickoffs.
Stop reminding me.
We hate it, Aaron.
I hate it.
Shocking.
Jack's in here saying, got to bring back the food questions back this season, lads.
Yes.
What's your go-to Tesco meal deal, and what's your best meals or food you've had on your summer holidays?
Best meal in my summer holidays. Tell you what was a cracking meal. That Fat Sam's we had.
Oh, aye.
That was good.
Fat Sam's is
Fat
unreal.
Sam's, Santa Ponza, if you're ever there. I got the tacos, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I got a heavy nice kind of... It was like a wrap. Like, what was it called? Boston O'Brady's and Santa Ponza. That was lovely. I probably know what you want to eat before you go out and sink like
However,
12 pints.
if anybody here has any affiliation with Boston O'Brady's, tell them to get their fucking arse together. We waited about an hour.
Aye.
Even myself.
That service was shocking.
Aye.
What was the other? What was it he asked there? Apart
The
from,
Tesco meal deal.
I would need to admit I had a pretty woke meal deal.
Oh, is this the one you put in the chat the other day? What was that about?
It was like the Korean style chicken roll sushi, and the chicken gyozas.
So you're saying you picked that or Scotch eggs?
Yes, pretty comfortable.
I had a meal deal today from Morrison's. I've not had a Tesco one in a while, but mine wasn't much better. I had the spicy chicken baguette as my main, which is pretty standard. I had a bottle of the Jude Bellingham Jizz as my drink, and I usually would go for like something packet of crisps or something, but I went for onion badges today as my snack.
Fair enough. Good.
What about you?
I think I quite like Branson pickle, so I always get the Branson pickle cheese sandwich.
Mammy.
Mammy. With the sweet chilli, Thai sweet chilli McCoys and a bottle of cuisine, I think.
No,
So.
that is good. That is a good
Thank
meal
you.
deal. I like that. When I was at Tesco, I think I used to go through phases of like I'd be on the pasta for 3 months, then I'd switch to a sandwich for 3 months, Branson pickle being one of them, then I'd go to like a baguette for 3 months, then I'd go back to it, but like, I just couldn't, when I was working there I couldn't have the same thing every day.
Oh, I saying that if you're there all the time, innit? You get a wee one, you're breaking it.
The Tesco pasta, I've not had it since I left Tesco, but it fucking sickens me. Like, it just reminds me of pushing trolleys about rough 18 years old in Tesco Park here.
Right, pick two more and we'll wrap it up there for the Twitter questions. Two good ones.
I'll just go to Gabe here. He was next saying, what will you be calling our new signing? I'll say GSP.
I say we go with that abbreviation.
Go with yours.
What about Oh, I'm sorry. Cover your ears if you're sensitive or what. No, I seen somebody say, "I don't want to refer to him as Big Clit." I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Big Clit. Jesus Christ. GSP is what I'll be going for.
I'm trying to get this last question. Sorry, there's a lot of questions, boys. Sorry if we've missed you this week. Might try and get some next
We
week.
are on it. As I said, I've got sheets now. We've got a run time to go through, and we're nearly at the run time. So
I'm just going
ups, man.
I'm just going to ask this one purely because I don't know what I'm having for dinner and I need ideas. So, Celtic fan groups come in saying, "Hello, gentlemen. What did you all have for breakfast today, and what will it be for dinner tonight?" Cheers,
I was
boys.
about to say, you're not going to have a bowl of shreddies for your dinner. For my breakfast this morning, I had a slice of toast and a bowl of shreddies.
Actually, I've got an interesting
I
answer.
saw you there, you were at a wedding yesterday.
I was at a wedding Wednesday, so I was doing it in Ayr the day, so I went to that Grow Coffee and I had Stornoway Eggs Benedict. So 2 black pudding, Eggs Benedict. Fucking phenomenal.
Lovely.
And I took a Kinder like chulo cookie, stuffed cookie, home as well. What a day.
That sounds banging, to be fair.
For dinner, I had a Costco chicken burger and chips. I pretty bored of them because we were in a rush for the podcast. But I'm in the mood for chicken fried rice.
I've not had dinner yet, so that's why I was needing ideas. So.
Chicken fried rice.
Chicken fried rice. I could go a good 3 Thursday night.
Aye.
I didn't have breakfast.
Did you know?
I've never just slept
Not a
in.
breakfast guy,
Yeah, half
no?
a day slept in. Didn't have breakfast.
Good on you, son. Good on you. Well, I hope you get your dinner sorted. Right, that brings us to the first full-time quiz of the season to end off the show. I'm sure you've all been dying for the full-time quiz to be back, and this year, as I say every year, I will try and keep a league table because now I have notes. I have notes, league table, and I'll put it on there every week and I'll be able to keep up with it.
Is half time count, no? Or is it just full time?
No, half-time's just a bit of fun. Half-time, you don't need to take yourself too seriously, you know.
You
Half-time.
need to walk in for the full time.
So, as always, penalty shootout fashion, set A, set B. Dylan, you won the 501 earlier, so I'll let you choose. Would you like to be set A or set B?
I'll go A.
Set A. That means you're kicking us off then for the first question of the year. Has to be right.
Bit of pressure,
Pressure's on you. Right. Who did Celtic play in the opening match of last season? And what was the score?
Kelly.
Yes.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what it was 4-0 or 4-1. Oh dear.
I can tell you this. One of them is correct.
Aye. But which one? 50-50. We can see. I'll go 4-0.
4-0's correct. Kelly 4-0, opening game of the
So
season.
I minded Ralston scoring late, so I was
Aye.
like, what, I think.
I wasn't there. Who did I?
Oh, you were.
I was at ICW that night. Who had my ticket? Oh, anyway, who cares?
Probably.
Might be right. Right, Kieran, question 1 to equalise on the penalty shootout. In the opening match of 2023-24, which player scored? And O'Reilly in the post-match interview said he wasn't surprised he hasn't started more.
Oh, for fuck's
So
sake.
who scored in the opening game of 23-24? O'Reilly in the post-match interview said he wasn't surprised he hasn't started more. Oh, he was surprised he hasn't started more, sorry. Made it sound like he was a hater.
So why do you have in my head that Liam Scales scored a goal in an opening game of the season? But surely it wouldn't have been him. But I honestly don't remember anything about that game. I remember going to the pub after it. I remember leaving my phone in the Westbourne that night.
Oh, that's right, of course.
I can't remember who it was against.
Neither. I can't just go Liam Scales.
David Turnbull. The Bull.
Fuck me. Ross County. Aye.
Feed the Bull. So 1-0, Dylan. Question 2, you ready?
There you go.
Which unlikely scorer was our first of the season in Ange's second year? So 22-23, who scored Celtic's first goal of the
Welsh.
season? Correct. It was Stevie Welsh. Kieran, you need this. Who equalised for Celtic in an eventual loss in Ange's first league game? So it was against Hearts
Tynecastle.
at Tynecastle. Who scored for
I was
Celtic?
actually watching highlights of this earlier, but I'd only seen the fucking Hearts goals because it was a Hearts page at Shelby on Twitter. I know Kyogo got brought on in that game, but I don't think he scored.
I'll give you a clue. It was a sign of things to come in that season. Somebody that had a very good campaign.
Was it Abada?
No.
Ralston.
Tony Ralston.
Abada scored the goal that got fucking chopped off that night, did they know?
Yep.
Pure dubious.
Aye.
Aye.
The line, that.
Dylan, you can take a commanding lead here and put all the pressure on Kieran. The lockdown season, we surprisingly got off to a winning start against Hamilton. I remember watching this at Kieran McCluskey's this day. Which defender scored an own goal that day for Celtic?
I was hoping you were going to ask me who scored because I mind Edward get the hat trick.
Aye.
Bastard. Own goal.
Defender scored an own goal.
It's got to be Ayer or Julian, innit? I'll go Ayer.
Should I went with Julian?
I hate that, man. All the time. Always the same, man.
Oh, Christopher Julian was correct. Still 2-0. Kieran, this is a chance. This is an opening. It's like Chloe Kelly in the Women's Euros finals. Big daft run up. Mark it for there. In prime Lenny Ball fashion, we kicked off 1920 with a 7-0 win. You have 5 guesses to name 3 of the scorers that day.
It was against St Johnson.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Ryan Christie
He did.
scored like 3 times
There you
or
go.
something.
So you've got Christie. You only need 3.
Edward.
Yes.
And then, what's it going to say? I'll say El Yunusi.
No.
No.
Got 2 more guesses.
Yeah, let's see.
So you've got 2 of the 5 scorers. And 2 guesses to get 1 more.
Right. Shit.
What season was this? 20?
1920.
1920.
Right.
Who the fuck else? Did McGregor score that day?
No.
Oh, boys.
1 more guess. The pressure is on. 3 names.
Pressure? What pressure?
I'm trying to actually think who the fuck would have been playing.
Clueless, man. I can't
Like on
remember.
the wing. Oh, fuck this. Forest.
Christie, Edward, Lee Griffiths,
Oh, Jesus.
Olivier and Sham, and Mikey Johnston.
I know that wee prick.
So, Dylan, to win the full-time quiz, the first of the season, question 4. Celtic kicked off 2018-19 by defeating Livingston. Brendan Rodgers, opposite number, wasn't next to him on the dugout that day as he was on the pitch. Who was the Livingston manager?
Can you say that again, sorry?
So the Livy had a player manager at the time. Who was it? First game of the 18-19 season. Aye.
Dear.
You'll kick yourself if you don't
Ah,
get
probably
it.
kick myself, aye.
You will.
Player manager. 18, 19?
Aye.
Very short-lived.
Very short-lived. That's probably why you can't remember. But you will kick yourself.
Player manager. Oh my god. It's actually starting to come back to me. I'm trying to remember. I just can't remember.
It's all coming back to me now.
Oh man, I don't know. Nah, my head's blank.
Kenny Miller.
Kenny Miller.
Celtic would face him again later that season when he was a Partick Thistle player in the Scottish.
Should I say to him, he's been everywhere, man.
Aye. So, Kieran, you've still got hope in the old Doug yet.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
In 1718, Celtic raised the flag after an invincible season. Which 2 current Scottish Championship managers played that day? So, 2 current Championship managers played.
Scott
Scott Brown.
No, I need to remember.
And I'll give you a clue. We played against Ross County, I believe.
Is Hingy still their manager? Don Cowie?
Don
Aye.
Cowie, correct. So it's 2-1. Dylan, pressure's on. Question 5 to win. Celtic kicked off the Rodgers era against, you guessed it, Hearts. But what Irish defender got his one and only start under Brendan Rodgers? He's just been promoted to the English Championship. Irish centre-half, played for Celtic, got his one and only start under Brendan Rodgers in that game.
The Hearts 2-1.
Now plays in the English Championship. You wishing he took it? You wishing you got
I didn't
City?
have a choice, but I wish I had.
I'm actually bottling this, man. Irish defender.
Went up 2-0.
Oh man, I don't. It's probably not an obvious one. I'm just. He's gone blank.
I wouldn't call it
I think
obvious.
aye.
it just.
I feel like you will know
Aye.
who this player is.
Is it O'Connell?
Yes.
Aye,
well
I was.
done,
Do you know what I was
well
thinking
done.
there? Do you remember the Leicester goal?
Aye,
That's what came to mind there. And I was like,
aye,
was
aye.
he still there that
There
game?
you go, on O'Connell. So Dylan, well done. You've won the first quiz of the
Congrats.
year. Congratulations.
Thank
Which means Kieran to take it home. Which often forgotten striker replaced goal scorer Griffiths after just 19 minutes? And I'm assuming that would be in the opening game of the 15-16 campaign.
Often forgotten. Let's go for. There's so many options. We'll go Chief G.
It was Stefan Skepjevic.
Fuck man,
There you go.
I could have said Colin Chasm Richards.
You could have said
That's when you know you're getting older, innit? See, the scenes are starting to drift away for you,
The
man.
fact
innit?
that that's 10 years ago as well now is... I was watching Premier League years a day and it was the 14-15 season and I felt ancient. Feels like yesterday. Like, you know, fucking Frank Lampard at City and all that stuff. That's 11 years ago since he signed for them. Nuts. Madness. Anyway, the tiebreaker would have been what was the combined scores in pre-season from all the games that we played. The correct answer would have been Celtic 12, opponents 9. So we didn't do that bad. Considering 5 of them were against Ajax as well, you know, that's not too bad. And that brings us to the end of the show. First podcast of the season out the way, and we're back with a bang. As always, thank you for your company. Remember, Thunder Club members will be recording for a brief 20-25 minutes over there. If you're not a Thunder Club member, you can become one down below using all those links. If you're on Spotify, you can navigate your way over to the YouTube channel and find that. But for the main episode, that's us today. Kieran, thank you very much.
Pleasure to be back.
Dylan,
It's good to be back.
it's good to be back.
We're back.
And we'll see you on the other side. Until then, take care of yourself and hail, hail. See you next time.